All right. Well, happy Halloween. Thanks for hanging out with us. And like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share it. And yes, let's have some fun. Later.
Welcome in.
Hi.
Welcome into Guys Afternoon In, where we text a lot.
Can we talk about for a second? I assume we've all experienced this at some point today. How AIDS people are when they're driving in the rain.
They forget how to drive. People completely forget how to drive.
And or how fast they're going.
Yes.
And this is something I see it a lot.
They don't go the speed limit when it's wet. It's either way too freaking fast
or way
too slow.
So people, I see this all the time. For some reason, it seems to be Beamers, Mustangs, and Camaros. It's like, it's pouring rain. It has been for hours. The ground is completely wet. Oh, 85 miles an hour. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. Absolutely not.
Like, oh, man, rear-wheel drive. Let's roll it, baby.
Yeah, dude, like, in my truck, dude, I'm nervous. Like I won't go super slow, but it would scare me to go that fast in the pouring rain.
I go like 75 and a 70. That's generally about how fast I go. But if it's raining, I go about 65.
Oh, I get what
I bring it down just a touch.
Too slow.
Well, and I also stay in the right lane, which is not unacceptable.
It depends how hard it's raining.
I mean, if I'm
just
saying
go the speed limit. Just go the speed limit. It's not ice.
The speed limit.
It's not ice,
speed
but
limit.
vehicles
go speed limit, dude.
Usually start to hydroplane at 45. And
yeah, are you
now you're
driving
going 70
over puddles of water?
On the interstate? Have you driven on this interstate?
Yeah, there's no puddles on the interstate.
I'm driving, and then like I'll hit something, I go,
yeah,
all the time.
You're driving over the paint. Yeah, I promise. Every time you see a wreck on the shoulder, like the one, he drove over that paint line. I promise you.
No, it's often right before and after a bridge too.
There's definitely puddles of water.
Thank you. Yeah, dude, I don't know what you're smoking right now.
Right in between
on the highway.
For
the love of God.
While it's raining.
It's the speed limit. They make it knowing that it's going to be wet at some point. It's been raining
about that.
all day.
They were like, wait,
it rained. They're like, crap.
We didn't plan for this.
If you're on the road and it just starts raining, slow down for like 30 minutes because it's really slick right after it just starts raining because the oil comes up out of the ground.
Specifically between Porter Road exit and like the business district exit, there are puddles everywhere.
And all the way up to MLK.
Yeah.
Down.
Terrible.
No,
but whatever.
And I think we've talked about this before, but the MLK exit going south is just absolutely terrible. Yeah. 100%.
It's got a little better. A little bit. They've fixed a little bit of it. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Well, if you go the speed limit, you won't have.
But
dude, if I go,
oh, your tires are going flat.
Yeah, if you go on the MLK exit going south,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna break my suspension.
Yeah, but
no.
Bottom line is, I'll go the speed limit unless it's like pouring rain. Then I'll probably go a little slower.
Oh, if you can't see, but like today, you see fine. Like you have wipers.
Also, that's another thing. A lot of people don't turn on their headlights.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Who doesn't have automatic headlights at this point, though?
Yeah. We are, I guess we are in country bumpkin land, but...
Does yours not have automatic headlights?
No.
Yeah, I guess you're an 06, right?
That
05.
That didn't become a thing until like...
I forgot you had an 05.
15.
I forgot you had an 05, sorry. Or
actually,
6
no,
or 4.
Just kidding. My parents had a
Mine's
08
that 2009, mine are automatic.
I like my automatic high beams.
You have automatic lights?
Dope.
Yeah.
Serious?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was a little
broke boy.
No.
I bet you have it. You just don't know what it is.
No, I promise I don't.
It's not very complicated technology.
You think they were doing that technology in 05?
Yes.
From 05 to 09, they didn't make giant leaps. Like,
no.
Well, I know people...
07, they were like, 08, they're like, yes.
Well, we had a friend who had a 2014 Corolla, and he didn't have automatic headlights on there.
I don't believe that.
How can
not
he
even
have
for
it?
A second.
His is an 09 Corolla.
My dad's has it, and
sure
his is a
different
2013.
Features.
He's got like the entry level.
Yeah, mine's base model. My dad's is a base model 2013, and his has automatic headlights. Your buddy just didn't know how to turn them on.
Well, also 4Runners generally don't have a whole lot of options either.
Right. I was
even new ones, like they just started, like 2020, they just started getting like
power
seats, detectors and stuff like that on them. So I could also see them just not giving a crap.
Because they know their vehicles are so good that they're not.
Yeah, well, because people who are buying 4Runners don't care about that kind of stuff.
So that's a debacle I've been having. Like, So
Debacle?
when I get
You've been having a debacle? Is that how you use that word?
Debacle? Yeah.
I've been having a debacle?
like a problem.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I've never used it in that way.
Yeah,
I feel like
it
I've always
just,
used it in,
the
like-
usage was
like-
off to me.
Yeah, like the work debacle. Like,
the work problem.
yeah. I don't know. It's just
It's fine. I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not saying you're wrong either. I'm just saying
Okay.
I haven't.
I've
used
just
it that
never
way
heard
either.
it that way.
So I've been talking with someone a lot, and like I like vehicles with a lot of features, like on the interior. I don't know why I've always liked that. You know, like heated seats and
Cooled seats.
things like that. And then like the Forerunners, like the 2019 Forerunner stuff, are like really nice, but they were like, yeah, you know, like, but they don't have a whole lot of, you know, interior kind of things. It's just not what they do.
I think the limited ones do, but I think all of the others.
Well, no
don't.
one likes the limited though. You know, that's the soccer, like he said,
A
the
little
soccer
bit.
mom Forerunner. Unless you get the Nightshade, then it looks kind of cool. But even still,
Yeah, it's just.
this is great TV.
Would you quit kicking the table?
Dude, will you
That's
quit-
going to be so loud.
Yep.
It's also loud every time you guys set your drinks down.
Yeah, that's a very different thing than what he was just doing.
I don't know how that thing picks up so many vibrations. Even on your guys' coasters, when you set it down, it's like,
It's because it goes up the arm.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's like when you hit your funny bone and feel it. Oh.
Yeah, your whole body's like.
Anything interesting happen to anyone today?
Well,
Well, not today. This week.
just go the speed limit on the highway.
So I had a guy. I was leaving work early, a couple days ago, and I was leaving at like 5. Ash came up to see me, and then she was headed home, and I just asked my boss, I was like, "Hey, can I just go home with her?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's cool. It was slow." So I'm on my way out the door. I'm gonna be right behind Ash because she just left, and then some people grabbed me. And I guess the point of like this much of the story isn't as big a deal, but basically I started talking to these people, and they were wanting to get like one of those really expensive mattresses, like Split King, those adjustable beds
yeah.
and stuff, and they wanted to do it on our no credit check financing. And I was like, first of all, they're not going to approve you for that much. But this is all not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is the dude was like, are there weight limits on these mattresses? And I was like, on the mattresses? I was like, I don't think so. I said, maybe on those bases there are, but they're still weighted for like 500 pounds. He's like, okay, because I'm 400 pounds, and the doctors can't explain why. I was like, maybe it's because the food you eat.
I can't explain why.
What do you mean they can't explain why?
Man's an anomaly.
I was like,
all know why.
I was like, get another doctor, bro. But also, in this guy's defense, he did not look 400 pounds. He looked maybe 320, 340.
Was he like really, really tall?
No. He's had a pot belly. That's about it. But anyway,
all the bush lights getting to him.
he would have been paying, like, if he gets he still wants to get it, and we'll see if he goes through with it. But if he would have paid that on our no credit check financing, the interest is like double. So if you spend $5,000, you're gonna pay $10,000, and it's auto draft. It's like a garnishment on your wages. It's auto drafted out of your check until it's paid off. And he said that he was so basically his payments would have probably been about $200 to $250 a week. So
For a
almost
mattress.
$1,000 a month.
Wow.
Like, that's a house payment, bro. What are
yeah.
you doing?
I will sleep on a piece of cardboard and some newspaper for the blanket. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, who's gonna pay that much? Get a cheaper mattress.
Yeah.
My
Well,
goodness.
The problem is he probably can't sit up out of bed. That's
Well, you can
probably
get
why
a
he
cheaper
needs it.
mattress, but still with the thingies, like the mattress.
What's the,
waters?
what's the
What the-
cheapest one that will lift you out of bed?
Well, so you can put
you're
those
dead.
bases under any mattress,
Oh, really?
or almost
Oh, that's
any
cool.
mattress. It can't be a really crappy one. But so, for example, the one he was wanting to get would have been after tax like $6,000. Now he could have got that for probably $1,800 to $2,000.
That's not that bad.
Yeah. So, but he was just choosing to go with the nicest mattress. I was like, look, bro, it's not in the cards.
But like,
this thing to lift me up,
but like, who are you to stop him?
I wasn't stopping him. I was just like, all right, man,
Yeah.
we gonna do this? Or he's like, well, I might have to think about it, put the money together. I was like, because he's worked, SEMA is the company that it finances through. And he's like, because I use them for everything. That's who I bought my appliances and everything through. So he knows what he's getting himself into.
Well.
So, they like to tell us in sales, it's kind of a, what's the word, skeevy, you know, kind of thing.
It's a grift.
And but they're like, look, you're not their financial advisors. Like, they tell us that, like, you're not their financial advisor. It's not your job to figure out if they can afford that payment. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right, you know, but
I mean, how many people do you think have like over $2,000 in credit card debt?
Oh, over 2,000? Several, dude.
I mean, like, not like what percentage of the country?
75 at least.
98%.
Yeah. So what's $6,000 more dollars?
I mean,
Seriously, that's how they do it. They max out a card. I'm going to pay that for the rest of my life because it's 40% interest. Get a new card. That's what they do.
Well, it's weird when I see on like Dr. Phil, it's like people are like, oh, $15,000 in credit card debt. I'm like, how did you get there,
bro,
like,
dude?
What credit card? What company was like, yeah,
I'm about to blow your mind, dude. So
I've got one credit card that has $15,000 on it.
But like,
is it a company? Is it a company
Or
credit
that's your
card?
limit.
No, it's my no. I've got it maxed out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, it was when we got it for emergencies when we started touring, and we had emergencies.
A lot of emergencies.
Yeah.
So like major car repairs, like engines and transmissions.
Oh, okay.
So $2,000, $3,000, $4,000,
What card is it?
$6,000.
Is it like a Chase card or
No,
something?
it's a USAA card.
It wasn't
a credit card.
J.C. Penney's.
Is USAA? Isn't that the
McDonald's.
Army or like military?
Military.
Were you in the military?
No. My dad and my grandfather was. I was
You can
grandfathered
get it
in.
through them. Oh wow.
Got him.
But
yeah, Jose. That's who I do all my banking through. So.
okay, that makes sense. I've talked about this in season 1, like early on, but I don't know if Will ever heard it. Now y'all probably forgot it, but yeah. So like this was the crux of like you're not their financial advisor. So I had someone get that mattress that was super expensive. Didn't get the base, but it was still like $4,000 or almost $4,000. And they really wanted that plus a bed.
It's hot.
Oh, is that coffee?
No.
I saw steam coming out of your face, and I thought he just vaped. Wow. Okay.
Anyway, they wanted that and a bed frame, a king bed frame. So altogether it was like $4,500. They applied for our credit check financing, only got approved for $1,000. But the thing is, you can't combine like that financing with the no credit check one, because in theory it's like, which they don't repo furniture, but it's like if they ever had to like do that, it's like what company gets the rights to kind of thing, you know. So anyway, so they used that to pay for their bed, which was $998, so they had enough. So for that, they got like a year no interest. Okay, not so bad. Well, now they applied for a SEMA. They need I think probably $4,000 or $3,500, and they get approved for like $2,000, and they don't have money to put down. So you can pay some cash with a SEMA, but you just can't use two different financing. Well, a little loophole. There's a thing called Snap Finance. You might have heard of it. It's similar to a SEMA. It's very similar. It goes off the same thing. It goes off your bank account, how much you make. Well, you can apply for that. And when you get approved for that, it's essentially like a Discover card. So you get a card number, but you have to pay it off with ridiculous interest. So they put that $2,000 on a SEMA, and they paid the rest with that Snap Finance Discover card. Okay. In the end, their payment's like $1,000 a month, and they were Hispanic people, and like I don't think they understood what was happening. So they just got slapped with like $1,000 coming out of their checks.
$1,000 a month.
Yeah, it's nuts.
For a bed.
Furniture.
Yeah, for a
It's
bed.
nuts. I would never do that.
Again, cardboard can't be that uncomfortable, people.
Yeah.
It's like I got one of those nice mattresses, but if you have decent credit, you can do like 60 months with like either no interest or low interest, and you can just pay it off early and not pay all that interest. Which is what we did.
Guys, if you go in and you know what you want, you can start paying it, and you guys will just hold it until you pay for the whole thing.
Right.
It's like, why don't...
Why
And
don't you
that's
just do
no
that?
interest.
Yeah, exactly. People just want stuff now. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So at the restaurant, we've had the DoorDash and the Uber Eats and all that stuff. They'll come to us and be like, hey, we want to work with y'all, yada yada. Anyway, there's pretty much no point in us working with them, just being a local single store place, because they end up pretty much taking up all of the profit from us, our cost. So we told all of them no. Little do we know, pretty much all of them just said, all right, well, we're going to do it anyway. And just started having the DoorDash and Uber Eats people call in like an order, and then they'll just Uber Eats and dash it wherever
Now,
they're going.
how does that take away from your profit?
Well, if they specifically
partner.
work with us,
Yeah, if you partner.
Okay.
they,
Yeah.
like somebody will place an order through the thing,
And
the
then
money,
okay, but
yeah,
not this case. They're just
Yeah,
So you're
'cause
still
like
you're not
with-
losing anything though.
With DoorDash and Uber Eats, I don't know about Uber Eats, but I know DoorDash, you get a charge card.
Yeah.
And so for places that don't partner with them, you can go in and place the order and use the charge card to pay for it.
Right.
And then it just gets reimbursed,
Yeah.
basically.
Well, the
So-
margins on restaurants are really tight.
especially on food.
Yeah.
And so when they were doing that, technically we're not losing anything, but we're having an issue because we're one restaurant, and if we're really busy on the inside, or as busy as we can be right now, and we have tons of, especially on the takeout orders, because that's
Yeah.
a lot of what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
If somebody places an order and it takes an hour for it to be ready, they'll come in and start yelling at us, being mad at us.
the drivers?
Yeah, we've had multiple drivers come in mad at us about how long it's taking, when there's literally nothing we can do about that. Like, we don't
cancel
know
the
you and we're not
orders.
with
Hey,
you.
kill
That's not
yourself.
our
Just
problem.
cancel.
Well, and that's the thing though. It's like
cancel it.
Kill yourself.
with partnering with them, they're able to tell how busy you guys are
Yeah.
a lot easier in the app, so people can decide whether they want to wait an hour for their order.
So y'all
When they
gypped
don't-
them.
When they don't partner, whenever they're doing it the way they're doing it, they don't know how long it's going to be.
Sounds
They
like you
can't
guys got
see.
the good end of the deal.
Yeah.
But it started becoming an issue, especially when also customers from their end are calling us about an issue that has nothing to do with us. For example,
Customers who
DoorDash.
place an order through DoorDash, they called directly
Us.
to you.
Yeah.
So, for example,
sense.
DoorDash, I guess, thought you could just like add a salad for free if you get something, but that doesn't pop up on our end. So when somebody's calling us about a salad they didn't get, we're like, look, we're looking at this ticket. We don't see anything about that. We don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That is not our fault. So now we're starting to just tell all of them, hey, we're not with you guys. We're not taking these orders.
Yeah.
Like, so somebody will place an order through DoorDash, and then the Dasher will like come inside or place the order, and we can't tell all the time, especially if it's on the phone, if they're with DoorDash or something like that. But if they come in and we see they're with DoorDash, we tell them we're not doing it.
Even if they've already placed it?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Do you still answer the phones there?
Yeah.
Is that fun? No, I can't.
Especially when people call and they don't know what they want.
Can
I
you?
wasn't ready for the
I
trick questions.
think it's
Can
Yeah,
you
it's like-
read me
it's-
the
it's
things
it's straight
you
up like-
think I would like?
It's like straight up like Jim Gaffigan has a joke where he's
Jim
like,
Gaffigan.
yeah, like that. He's like, hello, delivery. You have food there? Yeah. What do you want? Like people.
And they're like, oh, I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah.
Can I get
What do you have?
Let me get.
Dude, that's like, so like, I remember when we worked at Jimmy John's, people would call, and they'd be like, what do you have? And I'd be like, do you want me to name every single piece of food we have?
That's
And then I had that reminds me similarly kind of thing. This past weekend, there was this lady that grabbed me at work, and bro, she was wanting me to move every single lamp that she liked over to a piece of furniture that she wanted to see how it went with.
oh yeah.
Now, if you know, if you
I know
know,
what I'm doing in my free
you don't
time.
know.
if you know our furniture store, the floor is 60,000 square feet.
It's big, big, big.
So like, there's lamps everywhere.
But aren't you there to serve?
You're a
to an
public servant.
extent, within reason. I mean, like, I make 4% of sales, and when I sell 2 lamps for $120 total,
Yeah.
I make $5.
Yeah.
So, and especially when they want you to spend an hour, that's $5 an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I have a similar story.
I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I just,
Yeah.
went to the bathroom and like left.
One
Salesman of the
day
year.
at Office Depot, this foreign couple came in, and I mean foreign as in like here probably less than 3 months, like in the country.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they were from. I don't even have a guess. But they had a huge thing of documents from whatever the country they were from, like this big, and they wanted me to scan it to a USB thumbstick. Now, that costs $0.25.
Per page.
$0.25. Flat fee.
Oh.
Total.
Yeah. And usually it would be fine because you could take them all, line up the edge, feed them in the top, and it would go brant, 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 brant. They're whatever size that country uses. And along with European size, which is longer than our paper, and American size, which is shorter, and then their country size. And on top of that, they're water damaged, and they've clearly just been shoved in a suitcase.
All crinkled up. You got to.
They want you to scan those onto a flash drive.
They were there for like 2.5 hours. Yeah.
That'll be 25 cents.
I was like, I was the only person there,
Good thing
so I
you
had
don't
to
get
work
paid
the
commission.
counter as customers came up, and then I had to basically be like, our color copier is down because I have to scan this package of documents.
Those people wait there?
They waited, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
dude.
it's like I said, they had clearly only been here a little bit. It was like that was what they had to do right now.
If I were you, I'd be like, hey, come back in like 5 hours, bro.
I think I eventually ended up saying that, and then I put it in a folder and left it for the opener. I did that a lot. If I didn't want to do something, I would leave it for the guy in the morning.
right
That
there.
sounds about
Nice.
right.
I was like, maybe his mental state will be better than mine is right now.
What was the list of things called that we had to do at Jimmy John's every day?
DBL,
DBL. Yeah.
which was really daily beautification list, but we call them DBLs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daily beautification lists.
Oh,
I went into.
I was like, list starts with an L.
I went into. I went into Jimmy
You're not
John's the
wrong,
other day
Will.
to get a sandwich, and I saw it laying down there, and I saw the little sheet that the managers had to fill out for closing. They had to do all those tasks. I was like, God, I don't miss this at all.
So back to your lamp thing for a second. I remember when I was working at Sam's, if I had somebody who was coming, yeah, we're wanting to look at some lamps, I would literally go, cool, just grab me if you need something. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you need something, if you need help, I will help you because you are my customer here. But
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna go to
but-
each room and say, "This is a lamp. Do you like this lamp?"
Yeah, but I'm not going to follow you for an hour.
Yeah,
Looking
there's
at
certain
lamps.
things you just can't, like coffee tables that are literally
Yeah,
everywhere.
like-
Just like,
yeah.
okay,
you
look
want to look
around.
at these fake trees that cost $100? Look at all of them. I
Well, the
don't
thing
care.
is,
I'm
most
not gonna follow you while
customers,
you're doing it.
most customers, I've come to realize, which I'm the same way. Y'all tell me if you're not the same way, but like, most customers want to be left alone. Like,
Oh yeah.
like for sure. Like now, it's kind of to an extent, you know, I'm the same way, but like you cannot be a douche about it. Like customers come in all the time, and I get that salesman, like the term, you know, a salesman has kind of a negative stigma to it because of. I mean, I don't blame people. So y'all know Ashley Furniture. Everyone knows Ashley Furniture. Like at their store, they're training. What are we at?
Right.
22.
Should we stop real
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it?
They are literally taught, it's called the 10 non-negotiable selling principles, which means there's 10 things they have to do to you by the time you get in and leave. Like they have to like draw your room that you're going to put the stuff in. They have to mention mattresses.
Shout, strike,
Like-
flee.
But anyway, so there's a negative, you know, stigma to it, and so customers will come in and you'll be like, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" Like, "No, God!" Like, and they get like so mad. They're like, "No, no," like, and just don't say anything. Like, what brings you guys in today? Just looking.
And those are always the ones that like go somewhere and they're like,
No one is helping me.
yeah. They're like looking. They're like,
They'll do that, or they'll go and they'll like buy a lot of stuff, and they'll just grab a random person, and they won't grab you because
and then leave a
obviously-
bad review.
Yeah,
Yeah. I helped a woman again at Office Depot one time. She wanted, I think, birthday invites, and we had like a pre-selected thing, and she didn't speak English. Like she only spoke Spanish, but she knew what she wanted, so she was like pointing, and I'd hand her something. I'd be like yes or no, and then I ended up giving her this product, and she left, and then immediately left a bad review on her phone and said I didn't give her what she wanted.
Dude, do you remember that time at MJ's? I don't think you were working this shift, but I was. Obviously, it was about me.
Oh, what's it about? Are you sure?
Well, yeah, so I helped. It was in the evening. It was in the summer. We had a patio open. But, like, in the weekday, especially on, like, slow days like Monday or Tuesday, most people didn't sit on the patio for some reason. Or maybe it was later. It was kind of getting colder. I don't know. Anyway, this lady wanted to sit on the patio, and I had to help her. So I go out there, and I help her, and I'm pretty nice to this lady. And then she gets her pizza, and it's like wrong. I'm like, oh crap. So I go and we fix it, and I'm like, look, keep this pizza on us. Here's your new pizza. We won't charge you for your drinks. You know, trying to make the situation right. You know, her kids got soft drinks, she got a drink. I was like, we just won't charge you for those, so just don't worry about it. And so pretty much she got a free pizza, free drinks, and another pizza. and then super nice about it. She was like, "Oh yeah, okay, thank you so much, appreciate it." Leaves, immediately writes a bad review, mentions me by name, and is like, Evan clearly didn't want to be helping me out on the patio. He seemed annoyed the whole time, and then he comped our drinks, but yeah, that's cool, I guess, but it's not okay. Like, I was like, and so,
Like you got paid to eat here.
like MJ Miles just sends a screenshot of that review to the manager that's working.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, Jesus.
That same thing happened to me with the Spanish lady.
Oh, really?
I got called to the office in the middle of work, and he's like, yeah, so I got this review, and I just want you to talk it through with me. And I look at his computer monitor, and he has the security camera footage of our interaction pulled up. And he's like, yeah, so to me it kind of looks like you showed her a couple options. I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, I just wanted to make sure that's what happened. I was like, am I getting fired right now because I didn't speak Spanish?
I know. At least Miles was pretty cool. I thought he was going to be mad. He was like, he probably would have been mad, except the lady made one fatal mistake. She mentioned that I gave her drinks for free. And so Miles was like, obviously you tried to make the situation better, and she's just being a choice word.
So, the Pleasant Grove Walmart, there's a taco place inside there. I think I've mentioned this before, but not recently.
There's a taco
since
place
while
in
we're
that
talking
Walmart?
about
It's not there anymore. It's a sushi place now.
It's a sushi place now, okay?
Yeah, but
it was a taco
that place was awesome.
so good.
Yeah.
Okay. My dad went in there one day for lunch, and he had a bad experience. And so he got his food, and he sat down. Sorry, Dad. And he got his phone out on Google, and he started leaving a review. The manager had a bad attitude or something like that. And so he was using voice to text to leave this bad review while he's sitting in the restaurant eating the food.
Idea.
Okay. The manager
sucks.
The manager that he was complaining about had taken his break and sat behind my dad and heard him leaving this review. So the manager, and my dad's wearing our shirts with our name on it.
No.
So
Wow.
he goes on to Google and leaves our company a bad review. And so we respond, we found it, we responded, we're like, you're not a customer in our database. We've never done any work for you. Why are you leaving a bad review?
Yeah.
And
I
we
got
tracked
mad.
we tracked it back to that interaction.
Nice.
And it's
Your
wow,
dad's just
how
pounding
petty.
tacos like, this
That
place
was
is disgusting.
That was a hardcore move on your dad's part.
I know,
Even if he
right?
wasn't in the restaurant.
He's like, this place is terrible. Manager smells like musty old beans.
Has a distinct old man smell.
Don't you have a story just like that?
I have a story, and I think I've told it on here before, but I'm still mad about it, so I'm going to tell it again.
Well, it was season 1 for sure. So
So, this was when I was managing up at the Centerton location that we used to have.
I feel like I kind of remember this.
rip.
Very busy, the first week we're open. So, not all the kinks are worked out, which is kind of understandable, but...
It was really kinky.
Sometimes.
Got him.
But we did everything we could to make sure if there was an issue, everybody left happy. Most people did. Lady places an order. The hostess at the time did give a much shorter time that it would be done.
Phone call?
Yeah. Than it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the host had told her it was going to be 30 to 40 minutes. It's really looking more like an hour. So the lady who called an order and's daughter shows up.
Oh yeah, I remember
She comes in. We're like, hey, it's gonna be another 20 minutes. Girl, no problem. The daughter didn't have an issue. Whatever. So she pays. She actually leaves a tip for the to-go. Super nice thing. Not everybody does it. You don't have to do it, but if you do, it's appreciated. So leaves $5 tip. Whatever. Lady calls up, mad about how long it's taking her mother, and she's like, and I told her, I'm like, hey, it's gonna be another 20 minutes, and we'll have it finished for you. And she's like, okay. She's like, well, she also left a tip. Will you take that off? $5. Are we worried about that?
Wait, she already took it and paid for it?
Yeah.
Or?
She paid for it, but she hasn't left yet because it's not finished yet.
Gotcha.
So I open it back up. I take off the tip, get it fixed. Okay. So I told her, okay, yeah, it'll be another 20 minutes. It'll be finished. She's like, okay. Kind of sounded like she was a little upset, but she accepted the gravity of the situation here. 10 minutes later. Not even the full 20.
Yeah.
10 later. Calls back. This time she's very mad.
Yeah.
And we're really busy. We just opened, new restaurant area. Huge restaurant. Everything is filled. We got people waiting. We got every seat in there filled. We got tons of to-goes. it's actually really loud, and as everybody might know, I can't hear very well.
Oh,
So this lady's on the phone, and the fact that I also can't hear her very well, and she's not speaking very well into the phone, she this time she was mad, and have you guys ever seen what's the shoot your eye out kid movie, Christmas Story?
Yeah.
You know when the mom, she tells her that her kid was cussing, and she's like, you hear her like that's
Yeah.
what it sounded like. I couldn't tell what she was saying. So she calls back. She's mad. I gathered the first couple words that she was like mad. She's like, oh, this is unacceptable, yada yada yada. And then she starts. I can't quite tell what she's saying. I just go, yeah, we're sorry about that. Yeah, we're really sorry about that. I don't know what she's saying. And I feel like the only thing that would make her more mad is, can you repeat that?
Yeah.
Just be like,
It's like, can you repeat the thing you just screamed at me?
Yeah, so I kind of just kept accepting it. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And then she keeps talking. I can't figure out what she's saying. And then finally it goes silent. And I'm like, yeah, here. I was like, here, what I'll do is and then she cuts me off. And she goes, and what is your name? And I go, Chad. She's like, okay. And then hangs up. Didn't even give me the chance to tell her. I was about to say, don't worry about it. I'll void it all off. It'll be on us. Like, not a problem. It was like 2 pizzas and like a salad or something. It wasn't even like a huge order. Whatever.
Yeah.
I was willing to take care of it to make her happy, but she just completely cut me off as I was saying that, and she just hung up the phone. So the daughter gets the food. Daughter was super nice. Gets the food, leaves. 5 minutes later, huge review. I could find it right now if I really wanted to.
Facebook or Google?
It was on Google. And she mentioned me by name, and I was like, thank you. And so I looked up what else this lady reviewed. At the time, she had reviewed one other place, and it was a bad review. It was a Sonic in Huntsville. That's the lady. That's the kind of lady I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And then it gets better.
He probably knows exactly how bad that is.
It gets better. Not only did she leave a review under her Google account, she gets her husband's Google account and leaves a second one saying almost the exact same thing.
So what that says is that she doesn't have anything to do. And isn't it always the people who don't work that are the worst people to work with?
Oh, for sure.
It's like they feel like because they don't have a job, they like graduated from work for some reason, and that they don't have to do it now.
Where's your degree from? Work.
Work. I'm unemployed.
Oh, this one's funny. It's a Russian name. It was 3 months ago, 2 stars. Gone downhill, or the 16-year-olds would just rather be on that free Trump money. Server was attentive-ish, but was coming across more as wanting us to hurry up and leave. Had no intention of finding answers to questions he didn't know. Pizza was undercooked, and the server obs wasn't going to do anything about it, so we didn't ask.
Nice. He wasn't going to do anything, so we didn't even ask. Just like prejudging.
I know.
I was going to ask you, but
here's
you look like you wouldn't know.
Here's a 1-star review a year ago from a John Mars. Showed up 40 minutes before close on a Sunday evening, and we're seated. Waited 20 minutes. The waiter walked past us at least 4 times, and there was only one other couple on the patio. We ended up leaving. Would have been better if they just told us the kitchen was closed.
They should have
been
said
here
something.
before and enjoyed the food, but was disappointed to not get served.
They should have said something.
They should have grabbed him the first time he walked by.
I love how he like answered the question to his problem at the beginning.
Yeah.
We showed up 40 minutes before they closed on a Sunday.
That's why you had a bad experience.
It's like, this is a pizza kitchen. It takes that long to make the food.
Yeah.
The person said, served me expired beer. How do they know? Like a bottle?
What?
How long ago was that?
A year ago.
All right, this is riveting visual
Yeah,
context.
that's
all three
terrible.
Oh,
of you
come on.
are
I'm trying to find...
I can't even find the Centerton one anymore. It must not be on Google anymore.
Well, it's been
it's
closed
for over a year, hasn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
oh, no, I am at the Springdale one. These are Springdale reviews.
Yeah. No, that's the Cinnamon one won't be on there anymore.
When you have
But half that needs to be cut out.
when you have 408,
Oh, come on, that
when
was
you have
fun.
408 reviews and you have a 4.5 stars,
That's a good restaurant.
I feel like that's pretty good.
No,
That's
like a
pretty
good
solid.
restaurant's like 3.5 stars.
Like, I feel like that means. And granted, I'm not saying that we don't make mistakes because that just happens.
Well, it's
but
a
I feel
restaurant.
like that means majority of the people who are complaining
Yeah.
are the issue.
See, that's good, like with food and stuff. Because if people love food, they'll leave a good review. I say it sucks. Like Sam's, like no one buys furniture and like leaves a good review,
They're like,
usually just
nice.
cause. But if they have a bad experience, dude, they'll always
hear
get
about
on there and
Yeah.
leave a terrible
Yeah.
review.
Well,
So,
it's like when you buy something and it comes in the package that you bought it in, and it's exactly what you thought it would be. Why would you leave a review?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but what you don't think about is like, oh, these businesses literally thrive on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like with furniture stores, if anything's ever over like 3 stars, it's usually really good.
Yeah.
So we had solar panels installed, and like as soon as they got done and they were up and running, like I was getting emails and texts and phone calls from the company asking me to leave a Google review.
What about when you got your car?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
did that one though.
They'll do
I
that.
did
They
that one
make
because
you
that was a
do
good
that, dude.
experience. But I don't want to say the name. The reason they kept on asking me for a review, and I was waiting to give them a review because I didn't want to give them a bad review. The only reason I was going to give them a bad review is because they have a referral program, and I have a friend who referred me. We didn't go through the exact proper channels to like get the referral in. He was supposed to fill it out on his phone, and then they were
Yeah.
supposed to call me. What happened was I called and I said, hey, I got a friend who referred me to you guys, want to get solar. It took them like 6 months to get him his referral reward. And
Dude,
so
they'll
I
do
still
that, bro.
haven't left a review because it took so
See,
long.
and that's the thing. Like most places like that are in sales and retail, not like a retail store, I guess, but like sales based. Like that's how they are, man. Like, so for example, like this today, I had got a warranty on my truck that I didn't realize I was getting, and I didn't want for like $4,000. And like 3 days after I bought it, I saw it on my invoice because it was a lot more than my overall balance was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So I realized it was like a $4,500 like service plan on there. I called. I was like, "Hey, I don't want this," and like, "Okay, well, we'll have to send you a form, and you'll have to fill it out and send it back to us. It'll take 6 to 8 weeks to come off your loan."
Oh, so two more billing cycles.
Yeah, and I was like, "Okay, so today is 8 weeks, nothing." I called and they're like, "Yeah, it looks like she like never sent it in," and I was like, "Oh, convenient, yeah." Like,
How about I come down there and crush your head between my thighs?
So they said they're gonna push it through, and it won't
Oh,
be any
please.
longer than 4 more weeks.
So, and it seems
I'd
like
go down there with a baseball bat, like
like-
tomorrow. I'm just gonna be honest.
Where's
with you.
Selena?
Yeah.
I've heard that a lot of car places do this kind of crap. So I watched this video about this dude, and this is right when the 2018 Mustang GT came out, so they were expensive. And this dude found a really good deal on one. He was gonna have to drive the 200 miles or whatever where the dealership was to get it, and he talked to them on the phone and he filled out stuff. He was ready to go on it, and he said he talked to the salesman. He was like, "Hey, this is how much it's gonna be right here," and he was like, "Yeah." He gets down there, and they're going over everything and stuff like that, and he's like, "Yeah, and here's this," and it's like it's kind of like a warranty thing, but it's like warranty and like it was like a warranty plus like paint, protection thing and stuff like that. And he's like, "No, I don't want this. This is not what it's supposed to be." And he's like, "No, you have to get it." He's like, "No, I don't have to get this, and I don't want it." And the dude was like, "Yeah, it's kind of our policy." And he was like, "All right," and he just left. And he's a car guy. He makes tons of stuff on YouTube, and he put that on here. He was like, "Yeah, so if you ever go to this exact dealership," he gave their name. He was like, "They can piss off." Like,
Dude, well, that's what happened with my truck, dude. So I got on, I was like looking on the website, and I wasn't going to get anything, though I was trying to find a vehicle that was having some good rebates on it because I was upside down on my red car. So if I could find one that was like undervalued from what it's actually at, it would kind of cover my negative equity. So I found this truck that was like $10,000 less than like what most were going for.
Mm-hmm.
I called him up. I said, "Hey man, is this the price for it and everything?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Okay, well I'm gonna come in and have a look at it and blah blah blah." They had like $10,000 of rebates on it. Well, I go and we start talking and everything, and like there's only like $4,000 of rebates on there. And he's like, "These other rebates, you don't qualify for these. There's only for certain qualifying things." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, so like you get $1,000 off if you're in the army or military. You get $1,000 off if you have bad credit." I was like, "Bad credit?" I was like, "You get a discount for having bad credit?" I was like, "Come on." I was like, "That's so stupid."
And you're like, "Hey, run my credit about 9 more times and we'll be there."
Give me one second.
I'll press the button.
I went in with pre-approved with a loan for the car, and they ran our credit anyway.
Right, I've told you, dude. I meant to tell you that they were gonna do that.
Like, why? Like, it's
That's
another
the
hit
thing.
on my
I meant
credit report.
I did. I meant to tell you that like that night before like the you're gonna go. I was gonna tell you, like I do that with Capital One.
Yeah.
I get pre-approved, and they're like, well, we're still gonna run it because we think we can find you a better deal. Just be like, no, dude,
no.
USAA,
Yeah.
that's what I want. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta be like,
Oh well.
yeah, you gotta be.
Whale.
Got the car.
Yeah.
And this is why people don't like you.
Almost. We're
Almost?
good. Yeah.
What time
It
is
was
it?
18.
Yeah.
Oh,
only
I
18.
thought it
What's
was-
the time on this one? Is there time on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really small text. You probably won't be able to
I
see
don't
it from there.
I see other things, but not time.
I see other things.
Whatever.
I hope it's
Yeah, but this is
recording.
why, that's why people don't like you, Evan, because they think you're a car salesman. You're
Yep.
just selling
Well,
furniture.
we'll just cut out car talk if it's not recorded.
Wait, what?
I said
Why did I
people
all of a
don't-
sudden become a bad person?
No, I'm saying like that
Yeah.
is the reason people come in and they don't like you is because you're
Oh,
a salesman. They think you're just a car
Exactly. Yeah,
salesman
I
kind of
get
guy.
it. Like,
And
and
you're a
that's the
bad
thing.
guy.
You have
Yeah,
to.
well, also you're a douchebag.
You
but
have
that's
to-
a little.
You kind of have to like get people to let their guards down, and some people just won't. And
Well,
other people are cool.
Yeah, you gotta go for the low blow and then hit them right between
Well,
the eyes.
when I worked there, I tried to talk about anything other than furniture.
Right, and that'll generally do it.
And you don't work there anymore, so.
I don't work there anymore.
I literally talked nothing about furniture. Like, can you tell me a little more about this? You're like, nah.
Nah.
And you graduated, right? You're unemployed.
Graduated from work. I'm not
Yeah.
unemployed. I wish I was
I
unemployed.
wish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's graduating? Oh.
You want to be
Yikes.
unemployed? You want to? Oh, sorry. You want to graduate?
Yeah, we were just talking about
Graduate.
that. The people that don't work, they feel like they graduated from work.
Yeah.
They're like,
be
I know
nice.
how this goes.
Yeah.
Barry
I
was
don't
telling
do
me
it
at work
anymore.
today, he was like, I've got a new thing to say to customers. Like, so right now, if y'all didn't know, like furniture orders, well, among other things, are taking a lot longer than normal.
All of our equipment and
Right,
stuff is
right.
taking way longer.
So like normally you're looking at 4 to 6 weeks on most items and like on most furniture. It's taking like 16 weeks. It's ridiculous.
Even on Ashley?
Some.
Dang.
It's crazy.
That's like the quickest company
yeah,
there.
yeah, dude, they're struggling harder than anyone. Anyway, so like most people get it, you know. Most people at this point, almost like a year into this virus, it seems, people get. I guess it's not that long, but it feels like a long time. Anyway, people get,
6
you know,
months,
that
but
stuff
whatever.
takes a long time, and some people don't. So, like obviously, like on a normal time of the year, we have 3/4 to 80% of our stuff in stock. Right now, we might have like 25% of our stuff in stock.
Yeah.
And like people come in there like, well, it's kind of hard to sell furniture when you don't have it, huh?
Yeah.
And like Barry is like, I'm gonna start telling. He's like, yeah, well, you know, most people are pretty reasonable and are willing to wait.
That's savage. I went to the one in Rogers like a month ago, and I walked in the door, and a guy came up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, just so you know, we don't have anything on the floor right now."
Where?
Like, in
Where
the-
was this?
The Rogers, Sam's,
There's no Sam's and Rogers.
or Hank's. My bad.
Oh, yeah,
Hank's.
yeah.
He was like, "We don't anything you see here, we don't have it." I was like, "All right, well, I
I'm
guess."
gonna use that, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that at work.
No, I literally everything had a sold tag on it
Oh yeah, dude.
in the whole store, and it's as big as yours.
Yeah, oh, I know. Well, even normal times of the year, they don't have anything. Most of the time with Hanks, they have to order stuff from their Little Rock warehouse. Granted, it only takes like 2 days. But yeah, they don't really have stuff same day unless they sell stuff off the floor, which they're doing right now because they're desperate, which most places are.
Yeah. Sorry, I got the two furniture stores that are a guy's name with blue text confused. I'm sorry.
No, you get it. When Ash first started, so she worked at Sam's Furniture a while back for a while. When she first got hired, she posted a picture the day before she worked in her uniform. And so it's Sam's, it's get it at Sam's. That's the slogan. And then there's Hank's Fine Furniture. And she's like, Sam's Fine Furniture.
Oh, God.
I was like, no, what are you doing?
Traitor.
No, she's just trying to take their crap, dude.
My favorite part of the whole debate was where Trump was like, he was saying, you know, the states that are struggling hardest with COVID are the blue states, those Democratic states. They're everyone's dying, blah blah blah. And then Biden was like, he's like, see, that's the thing with him. I don't see red and blue when it comes to these kind of things, but the red states are the ones that are struggling.
Yeah, he was doing an interview with somebody. It was George Lopez, right? So this was the debacle today.
Wait,
Yeah, I know. They were doing like a Skype interview.
that's like Cardi B interviewing. But what are you doing? What are you doing there?
He's wanting the
where
brown
we're at.
vote.
It's where we're at. Celebrities are in politics now. It's great.
In politics is very loose.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean, though. Trump is the president. But they were doing an interview, and Biden was like, I don't know if we want 4 more years of George. and you can see his wife go, Trump. Like whisper, Trump. And then everybody on Twitter was like, he was saying George because he's interviewing with George Lopez. It's like, is that why he said 4 more years of George? He forgot who he was running against.
Yes.
He was thinking George W.
So I heard a comedian explain it one way, and I'm probably going to screw it up. Because us Biden supporters are like, it's like we're driving a car with the check engine light flashing. It was like, and it's the car that the dealership gave us. It's like, we didn't want this. We don't want this, but we just need something to get through this year. And the only other option is a Mad Max vehicle.
I feel like with the election, it's like you have a guy who's dumb as rocks, and you have a huge asshole. And I don't know which one I hate worse, because I deal with both on a regular basis, and I equally hate both types of people.
I've come to this conclusion. Y'all tell me if you disagree or what.
Yeah, I don't agree.
I think I might have said this before, so y'all tell me if I have. But so when it comes to the president of the United States, in my opinion, it is not their job to be liked. Right? I think it's their job to get stuff done and implement policies and stuff. So that's what I think is the problem. People don't like Trump because he's not the greatest guy. I'll give you that. You know, he has some washy, history and all that. But in my opinion, he's done a pretty good job as a leader. In my opinion,
I feel like a president's job is to do what's best for the people, what is in the best interest of all of the people.
Right.
Well, and
I feel like Trump is very more geared towards everybody in this Republican Party. He wants to do what they want rather than trying to see both sides and coming to a conclusion that can...
Well, that's how it always is. That's why the two-party system sucks so bad.
That's why how it always is, regardless
of
who's
so bad.
I'm not saying that Biden is doing that either, but...
Well, he's not president.
Well, that he doesn't have the interest of everybody, that he has the interest of the people in his party, but
yeah,
I feel like a good president has the interest of everybody and the best conclusion to come to.
Yeah, we haven't had one of those in a long time.
And the thing is, though, that a lot of people just like talk about the president as like he's the sole person that can get all this stuff done.
It's not.
No.
He doesn't have that much power.
He has almost no power.
The scope of the job of the president to the public has been blown way out of proportion.
Yeah.
He literally signs the papers.
The importance of it, the most important thing a president does is have...
He pardons a turkey on Thanksgiving.
And personal relationships with other world leaders.
Right.
That's like one of the most important things. Mm-hmm. And he can veto and he can pardon.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, okay.
But he doesn't run the country.
Yeah.
So rarely does a president do things that severely shift the shape of the whole country.
Right.
Like during Trump, I can name 2 things: stimulus package and my taxes went down when I worked at Office Depot.
Yeah.
That's all I could tell you.
So, okay, and that's one thing that I was going to bring up. There's things that, of course, aren't being broadcast all over the news, but Trump, in 2018, Trump put the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, the Israeli U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. So basically saying that Jerusalem belongs to Israel. And then he ended up, through the last 2 years, he has signed peace treaties with all of the countries, the surrounding countries, surrounding Palestine, basically forcing Palestine into peace.
Right. Yeah. Right. I saw that today.
I mean, he's completely changing the game in the Middle East.
Yeah, but liberals
nobody's
hate
talking
Israel,
about it. Yeah.
And so you won't ever hear about it.
Yeah. Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, do you think this country would be better run, if we're going to stick with the two-party system, do you think it'd be better run with, if we had 4 people who were like a president, like if we got rid of the president and just put 4 people in charge and put 2 from each party?
Nothing would happen.
They would just all disagree.
I don't know. That's how a business is ran, though.
Well, that's what the
business is ran by a board.
Do you think it'd be better run in a sense where maybe we have an issue and both of them have to come to a conclusion that is better for everybody?
There wouldn't be a conclusion.
What do you think? Like the Senate and the House
is
the
Senate
like,
and the House. That's kind of
and it's
the
always
idea.
with them though. It's always dictated on by who has the House.
Well, they've been talking about the stimulus package since the last one, and we still don't have anything. That's just case in point. Nothing would happen if that was the case.
Yeah, they literally just can't come to an agreement.
Well, and it literally the first president the last thing he said when he left office, George Washington only wanted to be president for 4 years. They wanted him to be president until he died. He said two things. Presidential terms should be max of 2 segments of 4 years. Maximum 8 years. And we shouldn't go to a 2-party system. The first thing we did was go to a 2-party system. That's the first thing we did after George Washington. And Lincoln said that, like, the only quote anybody knows by Lincoln is, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." We have 2 parties.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would be drastically different, like, if we had 4 parties, because that's how people measure their political beliefs, is the political compass, as 4 quadrants.
Right.
Yeah.
So why aren't there 4 parties?
Yep.
I don't know, man. I think the reason, like, Democratic and liberal people don't like Trump is for the wrong reasons. Like, so, for example, in the debate a few nights ago, like, Trump was egging at Joe Biden, talking about Joe Biden raising money in fundraisers. And Trump was like, "I would raise so much more money than you, blah, 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 blah." Like, yeah, Trump, like, that's, like, not relevant or anything.
That's not what we're talking
but,
about.
like, the left, like, jumped on him for that. I'm like, who cares? Like, as far as the rest of the debate went, it was fine. Like, okay, he said, "Ooh, I can raise more money than you." That really doesn't matter.
And Joe got all his money at bingo night, so...
I feel like,
In China.
and we were talking,
Allegedly.
we were talking about this the other day. Something that I feel like a lot of Republican presidents have had in the past is, like, a sense of humor.
wieners.
Like, while they're talking.
George W.
Well,
Watch this drive.
Watch this drive.
You could use a Reagan.
See you
too.
at church.
Reagan,
Like-
yeah, the video.
Yeah.
like
Reagan pretended he went deaf
Yeah.
towards the end of his presidency, and he'd be like, "I can't hear you." When they would
Yeah.
ask a question, he didn't want to answer.
And then there's 2 months after he got shot, he was giving a speech in Berlin, and there's a video of it. He's giving this speech. It's quiet. Balloon pops without missing a heartbeat. He goes, "You missed me."
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and when the guy threw the shoes at George,
yeah.
he
like-
throws it, and George is like, "Whoo!"
So it's like, I
He
feel like
wasn't even upset about it.
I feel like that's something that a lot of Republican presidents have had, and I feel like Trump tries to do that, but he's
not funny.
I feel like his, like, humor is so dry that not even Republicans are.
It's
really,
not even, like, dry. It's just, like, inappropriate.
He's the guy that's like, if this is mean, it's funny. You know, like from high school, there was always those kids that were like, "I'm just gonna bully this guy all through lunch, and everybody's gonna laugh," and
Yeah.
nobody laughed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I feel like that is one of especially while he's giving speeches and some of the stuff he says. I feel like that's one of Trump's biggest
you
issues.
hear-
He says stuff, and he thinks it's probably funny, but nobody really got it.
And they take him too literally.
Yeah.
Did you hear
Yeah.
about the email, the thing that came out with, like, Joe Biden's son?
Yeah.
I heard about a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Apparently,
so
I saw
they're
his,
still
I
waiting
saw his
for a warrant.
naked butt on Twitter this morning, so
Oh,
that's
good.
cool.
So you know how they said, like, in those emails, they said 10% goes to the big guy. Okay? You
Yeah.
hear that? And a lot of people think that's Joe Biden. He's the big guy, like the big man. And in the debate, Trump was like, and it said 10% goes to the big guy. And he looked at Joe, he's like, "Joe, are you the big guy? I don't know. You seem like you might be the big guy. I don't know. It could be you." Like,
I hate how there's like you can't find any information about that. Like,
I know.
You literally have to go to like the dark corners of the internet if you want to read any of that.
well,
but if it was
I heard-
Trump's son, it'd be all we were talking about for the next 3 months.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I hate how it's like, again, like the far radical right wing people, like, I don't agree with, but it's like they're like taking down their people's posts on social media, like some people's like that.
Yeah.
And I just realized yesterday, InfoWars.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts, but like they took them off.
Banned from YouTube.
They took them off.
Banned from YouTube.
I just
Any
realized
socials.
that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna take them off, you need to take off the
And
young
that's someone I
Turks.
haven't heard from in a long
In a second.
time. Yeah.
I rewatch the Alex Jones Joe Rogan
Oh, so
podcast
good.
probably
So
once every
good.
6 months.
It's so good.
It takes me
The interruptions
2 weeks.
just like
It is.
It's exhausting.
it is.
so
hilarious.
much information so
when he's like,
quickly.
when he's like, Joe,
No, Joe, listen.
Might be a little retarded.
I'm kind of retarded. He's like, when you're me and you're sitting at the dinner table and your dad's talking to you about the lizard men and the vampires, the cosmic vampires, and they're eating the children's babies, their bodies, and Joe's like,
What's where he starts screaming to Eddie Bravo about? He's
It's
like,
the same
they
one.
took a vote.
They took a vote in the Senate, and they're killing the babies after birth. You can't tell me that didn't happen.
He was saying
and
that
Eddie's like, I'm joking.
he was saying they eat the babies, dude.
Well, yeah, he's like, and then, like after he finishes, he's like, "You can't tell me." And then he finishes, and he goes, "What the?" He just sits there, like it's almost like he can't even believe what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, God.
and then 3 minutes later, he's hugging Eddie. He's like, choke me out. Choke me out. That's one of my favorites ever.
Or there's like a whole area for a second where he's talking about taking a submarine to Antarctica or something, right?
Yeah,
Like, what was that even? That came out of like nowhere.
And then he
as
says
quickly
something
as
like that.
That landed, it took off to another area. Like we
He
never
says
heard
something
about
like
it
that,
again.
and he's like, Joe, you know everything I know. And Joe's like, I don't know what you've been talking about at all. He's like, no, you know.
I'd like to
so
hang out.
good.
I'd hang out with Alex Jones.
Oh,
I
would
wouldn't,
too.
dude. I'd be tired. I'd be tired.
Apparently, Joe Rogan's been friends with them for a while.
Yeah,
Like
they've been
since
friends for. a
oh,
long
they
time.
talk about it.
I
on
saw
there.
a video of them together from like a while back, like early 2000s.
It was like
Did Joe
Fear
have
Factor
hair
Joe.
still?
yeah.
They worked at the same. Their networks were in the same building or something. It was something weird like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
What?
But all this to say that like people get mad about having their rights infringed upon. Like you getting your stuff taken off of social media because it doesn't align with what people want it to is like textbook taking away your rights.
Apparently, QAnon got banned from Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. It's the same as Antifa.
So-
it's literally the same.
I know.
So, me personally, even if I don't like what you're saying, even if what you're saying is just being like, even if you're rude or something, I feel like we can't censor that because once we censor that, where does it stop?
Right.
Like,
Well, like-
eventually, it's gonna come
Hot
to the point.
take, Chad.
It's gonna
Hot
come to the
take.
point.
Where does it stop?
Who's in the back?
So like
The cornerstone of the First Amendment, the Free Speech Amendment, is that BS makes the truth more clear.
Yeah.
And the truth makes the BS easier to sift out. But when there's no nonsense being fed to the American public, it's hard to find where the truth is.
You know what I've noticed is you can post something political and people you haven't talked to in years will all of a sudden like get in a fight with you. Like
Yeah.
over politics. Like what is up with that, dude? Like I haven't
I
talked to
can't-
someone in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's why I don't post
The
political.
reason
things.
I don't put stuff on like Facebook that's like super political is because odds are I don't you think.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, and then
don't care.
okay, and something. It wasn't completely political, kind of. A friend of mine went to a Trump rally and he got a MAGA hat, but it was a fake one. Like they were selling outside the rally.
Off-brand.
It was made in China.
Nice.
I thought that was hilariously ironic, so I posted a picture of the hat. I'm like, that's hilarious. Didn't state my side of my party affiliation or anything.
89 comments.
Oh, that, and then I had like 3 or 4 people just completely block me because they assumed I was a Trump supporter. Because I posted a picture. I'm like,
Someone-
are you
and
not seeing the
Red hat.
irony in this?
Red hat.
Right?
Red hat.
hear me out. You don't want to be friends with them anyway.
No!
I don't
Yeah,
wanna be
so
friends
they
with people
did.
like that.
Someone went. I don't know who it was. They went around and interviewed
saved me
random
the
people.
trouble.
They interviewed random conservatives and like random like Democrat people, and like they asked all the conservative people like, would you be friends with someone that was a Biden supporter or a very hardcore liberal? Like, yeah, no problem. And then like they interviewed all the Democratic people. Would you be friends with a Trump supporter? Like, oh, absolutely not. No.
Absolutely
all
not.
of them were like, no.
Yeah.
No. Which granted, they probably edited it just to show the bad ones.
One of
but-
my favorite videos like that is, I can't remember this, it's Ami Horowitz, I think. You can look him up. He goes to a college campus, and this was like a hot button topic whenever this was, it was like 2014, but voter ID laws, the idea that you would have to show ID to vote was a hot button issue
like
in
that's
this country.
like that should be a like problem.
Yeah.
Like,
so he went to a
that's
college
asking too
campus
much.
in California, and he was just interviewing students. He's like, "Hey, are voter ID laws racist?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, because disenfranchised communities, they might not know like where to go to register to vote, and they might not, have the right kind of ID, and then they stand in line all day and they go there." And like they can't vote, and they just wasted all that time, and then they lost a day of work, and blah blah blah. And then he went to Harlem, and interviewed a bunch of African American families he just found walking around. And he's like, "Hey, would you have a problem showing your ID to vote?" And they were like, "Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about." He's like, "Okay, do you know where the DMV is?" And they were like, "Yeah, it's on 8th and 4th." And it was just like the funniest video ever.
Yeah.
It was like, they don't. If they could see the Harlem part of that interview before the question, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm racist." Like, I don't think black people know where to find the DMV in the neighborhood they live in.
Yeah. Okay, hear me out though. Why haven't we come up with a way to vote online?
I've been thinking about that so
Like, okay,
much.
It's got to be because it could so easily be like hacked or something like that.
We vote on paper, Evan.
does that have to
we
do with
pay
it?
our taxes online.
We
You
vote
do all
with
of your
paper
banking
ballots.
online.
They have video of people at polling places putting a mark at the top of a ballot after they get it handed to them and throwing it away.
What if you had? What if you had to put in your Social Security and your driver's license number,
Get this.
your birthday, your name, and then you could vote. So easy.
Exactly.
There's a
no
barcode on the back of your driver's
You have to
license
scan the
already.
barcode.
Just scan the barcode and there you go.
You would have so many more people voting.
Yeah.
If you could do it
look at
online.
the numbers, like, isn't there only like 150 million Americans that vote every year? Or something
It's like
that?
40%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts. But
Well,
like
last time it was.
I just
It-
feel
and it
like
was
they're
low,
probably
but-
scared. Like, y'all are probably right that you could do it secure, but like I feel like people are it's such a big thing that they're so afraid that some super hacker could come and like change all the votes or something like that.
I think it's
I'd rather
probably,
than do that than get into my bank account, and I do everything, all my
Exactly.
banking online.
I'm
Right.
way more worried about my finances than voting.
Yeah, Charlie is single-handedly giving so much money to like 5 different Nigerian princes. Okay,
I have no problem with it.
he's helping everybody. He can.
I know.
Yeah,
Ultimately-
I can't believe we can't vote online. I can't believe it.
It's
bothers me
ridiculous.
every time.
That's the thing. If you could vote online, Bernie Sanders would be the
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
100%. Because he won every
would've won last
online
time.
poll. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Because all the younger generation is like who would vote for him, and they're
Yeah,
always online and
They're
everything.
too busy protesting to go vote.
Yep. That's the
that.
thing. Like,
It's at 18.
so, like, I was watching these people. It was from a couple years ago. They were protesting Ben Shapiro. He was coming to college to
Yeah,
talk.
I remember
And
those.
they were like,
Classic.
"What don't you like about Ben Shapiro?" They're like, "We just don't like what he stands for and all this blah blah." And
What's
like,
that?
Like, what for specifically? They're like, I feel like he's just spreading hate and stuff. And he's like, "What has he said that spreads hate?" And they're like,
He's Jewish.
they just walk away.
They
I
never
know.
They never know.
No, absolutely not.
There was one. I forget the other dude's name. The dude is white. I can't think of his name. He's in that crew.
Steven Crowder.
Maybe.
Owen Schroyer.
That's all I know.
But it was him and it was Candace Owens,
Oh,
who is an
Charlie
African American
Kirk.
woman. We're doing a thing together at a college, and people were protesting. And he was like, "Yeah, what do you think is racist about them?" And they're like, "Oh, they're racist. They spread hate." He's like, even Candace Owens, they're like, "Oh yeah, for sure."
Here's something that hasn't been going around a lot. Trump did in between the debates. Both of them did. I forget what it is. It's where they sit down and have an interview with
Town
someone.
hall.
Yeah. So, like, Trump was like, look at me right now. He's like, I denounce white supremacy. And he's like, what more do you need me to say? Blah, blah, blah. And the moderator, she's like, you guys just seem so hesitant to do it. He's like, hey, I disavow white supremacy.
Yeah.
He's like, my people even told me before I came in here, they're going to ask you the white supremacy question. He's like, look at me. I denounce white supremacy.
Well, he's done it like 8 other times.
Oh my gosh,
It's
dude.
just do you expect him to do it every time you ask because you forgot he's already done it?
Yeah, like whenever that whole Charlottesville thing happened, like people take like a soundbite of that and misconstrue it. The whole thing was like, "Oh, there's fine people up in clip." Like that's it.
Okay, so get this. This was really disturbing to me. I have time to say this. So Charlottesville, car drove through a crowd. Woman died. One woman died. I think a couple people got hospitalized. That dude serving life in prison. His face was plastered all over the news.
Justice served.
They rushed him through the courts. Okay, I bet you didn't know at a Black Lives Matter protest on a highway that an African American man drove through a crowd and killed a white woman.
That
Like
same
2
thing,
months.
like,
2 months ago.
Nope.
Had no idea.
It's like what's the difference between these two things?
Someone was saying like, you know how some people want to like abolish the prison system.
Yeah.
Someone was like,
what?
yeah, dude. Like a lot of hardcore leftist people want to like, get rid of prisons,
And
release prisoners.
does
There's
that
issues
do?
They
with
want
it.
to. They
but
want to
you
get rid
can't
of
just-
prisons, and they want to defund the police.
You can't
Here's
just
okay.
Derek Chauvin's
let
on the
everybody
loose
free.
already. Like Someone was like, if you get rid of prison, you know, Derek Chauvin's going free. How do y'all feel about that? It's time.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a cut of you saying that and post it on all your social media.
You guys are voting, right?
Oh. Sorry, I just got. Ow. I have gas and I breathed in really deep, and I got like immediate side pain. I felt like somebody stabbed me with a sword.
What's happening?
I might vote. I don't know where to vote. I need to look that up.
Oh, for you out there.
I'm scared to say
Right,
anything
I don't
about
know
it because we got told not to say anything about the, like, opinionated about the election.
Well, it's like
I'm voting.
Okay.
I'll vote.
I'll
I think
go
I need to
vote.
find out where. But at the same
Yeezy
time, it's
2020.
like Arkansas is definitely gonna vote red. Like,
That's just how it goes.
That's it. Well,
Even if majority votes blue, you think we're not going to be red still?
no, we will be red. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like, that's what
the
I'm
only time we've
saying.
not been red in recent years is Bill Clinton because he's from Arkansas.
Where's he
but
from?
not if
It is. I looked it up.
Not
We
if
were-
that's
all of us
interesting.
get out and vote for Yeezy.
Dude,
He's on the ballot.
Yeah, he won't.
I didn't realize a lot of third-party candidates get a good amount of votes. Like,
Yep.
like
Yeah,
the
they
last
do.
election, they got like 8 million votes.
Dude, like 8,000 people voted for Harambe last time.
Rode in Harambe. Yes.
what if everyone just wrote in?
Remember
I
Harambe?
assume it goes...
That was only 4 years ago. Can you believe that?
Who would've
only?
Harambe.
That was 2016.
I assume it goes to the next runner-up because Harambe can't be president. But is that what happens? They
What?
just go with the next actual candidate?
No,
Like, if
'cause we
enough
have
people
the
wrote in
electoral
Harambe...
college. So the electoral college would
No,
have to vote
no,
for
those were
Harambe.
literally wasted votes. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
count for anything.
Yeah, yeah.
The electoral college is there to protect us from ourselves. I mean,
Do you think... Do you think... I mean, tons of people think we should get rid of that, should we?
Yes.
Now hold on.
I
The
don't
electoral college is based off our votes, though, right?
it's supposed
No,
to be,
it's
but
based
it
off of
doesn't have to be.
population.
Yeah, even
Right, so
if
they
the entire
could
state
override.
of Arkansas, even if the majority votes blue, the electoral college can still go red.
And then we can vote them out. But
I mean, it's like it's by county, right?
I have no idea.
That's what I've seen. It's by what your county. No, that's for like state elections.
This is all
still
too,
think
we're
it
not
is-
smart enough. We're not smart enough to talk about this.
I
is
looked
too
this up.
complicated.
We
It's
aren't.
it's probably
Cut it
like your county. Each county, like
And we don't need people to see
This is
this.
getting cut.
I'm saying I looked this up. Or I found something about this yesterday. It's about your county and like
It's
and
really
it's-
complicated.
yeah, basically it's like the popular vote more or less in your state, and whoever wins the popular vote in your state gets all the electoral votes, more or less.
It should get them, but I don't think it
it
has
doesn't.
to get them.
Yeah, but
because
in like
Hillary would've
rare
won.
instances, like
Yeah, because she did get technically
she
the
got
popular
the
vote.
the
The majority
nation's
of people,
popular vote,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
but he won the states with the more.
well, yeah, and I was like, just because the entire state of California voted her, and that's equal to how many people
That's
that
probably
live in
most of
Arkansas
the
and
people that
Missouri.
voted. Yeah.
Yeah.
You look at like when a lot of like Republicans win, it's like almost the whole country votes for them. But because like New York and California are so many
The
electoral
densely-
votes, it's always close.
Yeah.
So that's where I think it's kind of funky because if 80%
Because
of
the-
the states want a person to be like the
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the electoral college is based on population.
it's
Yeah.
based
Whether
off
they
your,
actually get that many people to vote or not.
Yeah.
well, it's based you get as many electoral votes as House representatives and Senate representatives, which is based on your population. So like
I
the
took
more
civics a long time ago.
yeah, the more people you have
ninth
in your
grade.
state, the more
In
representatives
Congress.
you have.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's
remember
right. Your
when we
population.
you remember learning how to write checks?
How many times
The
can you
fuck
say
is
you
that?
remember?
Oh, I do. I remember. I remember checks in Pittman's class. I sat behind
Y'all
JT.
write checks?
We learned how to write checks,
Yeah.
and then little did I know, 7 years later, working at the restaurant, I was gonna have to write checks.
Yeah. And
I
this,
wrote-
You know
this
how to
guy-
write a check?
I
Well,
remember this guy
I
in
mean,
the
write a
front
check
row.
for like $700 for booze on these big checks.
Oh my gosh.
at the store.
At the
Well, you did
restaurant.
that
Yeah,
just
it
the
took
other
me,
day.
It took me like 20 minutes. I was like,
We did do that just the other day, though, Chad. Saturday.
How much did y'all spend?
oh, that's irrelevant.
Only
That's
a
lot.
little bit.
Are y'all
less than
stocking
that.
up for your Halloween?
we
deal?
spent like
We're stocking up, period.
$80. So
It was like
Oh,
$80
yeah.
like 4 or 5 times.
Or 6 or 7.
yeah,
Or
Chad
8.
was, Chad was like, "Is this white trash?" I was like, "A little."
Yeah.
like we're both carrying 2 cases of Coors, like walking around this liquor store.
Hey, so you know what's really crazy that I don't hear anybody talk about?
AIDS
The
in
moon
Africa.
landing.
Yeah. O.J. Simpson wrote a book called How I Would Have Done It.
I do know that. I
About
knew that.
I
How
didn't
he
know that.
would have done it if he did it, but insinuating that he did it.
Yo, can someone tell
How
me something real quick?
crazy is that?
Here's something. I am ashamed to say that I know almost nothing about the OJ thing. Like, I don't know
he
why.
stabbed 2 people to death in front of their home, and they acquitted him because a glove wouldn't go on his hand.
That's what it was. It wouldn't go on his hand.
Yeah.
Basically.
And the thing was that the glove was outside. It rained a bunch. The glove shrunk.
And he was wearing
But
a glove
he went to jail,
already.
didn't he?
For something else.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he lost the civil trial. They were suing him for wrongful death. So they proved he killed those people in a civil trial, but not the criminal court.
Oh, wow.
Well, and then later he went to jail for
And he's just walking around.
for something else. Like I think
He
went-
broke into somebody's home with an army of guys armed to the teeth to steal sports memorabilia back.
Yeah, that was at his
But
girlfriend's house.
He bought it. The other guy had purchased it from OJ, I think.
Something-
Did I ever
something
tell you
else
guys
going back.
about the time that someone broke into Sam's?
Yeah,
You know
I
that.
know
I
about
wanna
it.
hear
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that, though.
So it's not as interesting as you'd think. So we show up, and it's kind of the manager's fault to an extent. She had mentioned in passing to the customer service girls, and there was a couple guys back there, that the security system was going to be off because there was guys building a pergola overnight in the store. And so we leave Saturday at 7. The pergola guys come in until like midnight and build that pergola.
Pergola schmergola.
And then, system's not armed. Well, this customer service representative, and I can't remember, there was another guy with her that either used to be a customer service guy.
He used to be a warehouse dude.
No, he was customer service.
Oh, I thought he was
Yeah.
in the warehouse.
And
I met him, by the way.
I don't know if he quit or not at that point. Doesn't matter. And then her boyfriend. They come, they throw a rock at the window, breaks the window open. They go in, they steal like $500 or maybe $1,000, maybe, out of just the cash registers and like
They
the
should have
safe.
taken one of those stressless chairs. You can carry one
Well,
of those.
dude, there's sports
It's like
memorabilia
$4,000.
in the man cave that's worth easily, like combined, that stuff's probably worth $100,000. They've got like authentic, like old school baseball cards signed,
Muhammad
mint
Ali.
condition. They've got Muhammad Ali trunks in there or gloves. They've got like Tom Brady signed jerseys, Peyton Manning signed jerseys.
Isn't there an Emmett Smith
Joe
one?
Montana, Emmett Smith, Mike Tyson. Doesn't matter. And they took all that crap. And here's the best part: how they got caught. So they went to Walmart right before and got tools to break into the safe.
What a moron.
Left the tools at Sam's, and they just called up like Walmart and stuff. The investigators did, and like, hey, we need your footage. And they're walking out, and they have those tools in their hand.
That's how they got the guys that Jussie Smollett faked his hate
Yeah,
crime
yeah,
with.
they found like
Same
the rope
thing.
and stuff, right?
The same day those guys went to Lowe's and bought a rope. The two
How
Titan guys, the twin brothers
Yeah.
that he paid to beat him up.
can you believe
Nice.
someone would go that far? to,
I
like-
can. They're actors are narcissists, and that's the kind of stuff a narcissist does.
So I met the dude who was the boyfriend of the girl who was working there right then. The way I met him was I was at. So
I don't think that's right.
my other band, the Redlands, we played a house show. There was quite a few people there. I didn't know most
you
of
have
them.
blonde hair?
I think it was.
He wouldn't date.
We go to school with him.
Was I thought it was his boyfriend or her boyfriend.
I'm gonna say his name. Just bleep it. Bleep it. It's
yeah,
Oh.
that's the guy I met.
I thought you were talking about Nick.
that wasn't her
That's-
boyfriend.
Oh, I
It
thought
was
it was.
a friend.
I thought it was her boyfriend. Anyway, I forget. So, we play the set. It's a good set. We play it. People are all
That's
hanging out,
relevant.
whatever, like that. And I'm just kind of chatting with people, and he's like, "Yo, you work at Sam's?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Yeah, I fucking robbed that place."
Great.
Well, and I was literally thinking,
What
like,
a cool
I remember
guy.
seeing that guy, and he was out back, like, just like,
Was this the one I was at?
no, it was a
Oh,
different one,
dang.
but at the same place.
Dang.
And I remember seeing him and kind of going, man, that guy probably doesn't have a whole lot going for him. You just see the person,
Yeah.
and you just see the way they're dressed and the way they're talking and the way they do stuff. And he was smoking a joint and whatever, and he was like, yeah, I was there when you were applying or whatever like that or something like that. And I was like, he was like, yeah, I robbed that place. And I was like,
The
cool.
shame is
you don't
that-
have a whole lot going for you.
The
He was
shame-
proud of that.
the
Yeah,
shame-
like why would you
Yeah.
just open
The
with
thing that
that?
sucks is like before he left, he was actually pretty cool and like funny. Like he was.
Well, you got to
he was-
be a cool dude to rob a joint, right?
I mean,
Yeah, people who rob places aren't cool, dude. I mean,
Dude,
they're
pulling
not
off a
robbing.
heist has to be like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, a heist.
Yeah, I'm
like,
gonna be
super
real with
cool.
Yeah, and
Where's
that's
the
$500.
van? Where's the van? The van's supposed to be here.
well,
Well, it's been a good podcast.
Well, it's
kind of.
It'll be shorter because we had to start late.
And we had to cut
Yeah,
a bunch of
Get
crap.
out of here,
Chad.
dude. Get out of here. Get
he
out of
was
town.
late to his own house.
Get out of town. I'm not taking that.
All
Get
right.
out of here.
Well, we'll wrap it up here. If you're still watching, we appreciate it. Share it with your friends. Please leave a comment.
We like interacting with you people.
Yeah, we do.
Well, Evan doesn't because he's a douchebag, but I do also.
All right.
Peace.
Later.